Today on r/AskReddit, what secret did you find out about someone that permanently changed the way you looked at them? A friend I grew up started dating a guy and quickly got pregnant and married at 25 or so. One night, hanging out with her and her husband, he's like, "Did she ever tell you how we met?" Apparently she was an escort since right after she turned 18. He was one of her Johns, but they took a liking to one another. They've since been divorced. My uncle forced my dying granddad to sell over the family beach house for a very low price. He is now a millionaire. How did he become a millionaire? Did he sell it? He created a surf school on the property, which he went on to sell. Then buying a backpackers, which has become pretty successful. Your uncle is an asshole, but he's a savvy businessman, I'll give him that. Does he still have a relationship with your family? I definitely agree. He didn't for years while I was growing up. He somehow repaired the relationship with my grandma. My mum acts nice towards him and his partner but really dislikes them. Local park homeless alcoholic was once a professor of ancient history and dead languages and could speak and write in languages many of us would never even see. He used to teach at Trinity College until he was convicted for his wife's death. How she died or if he did it is a mystery to me, but one person I've spoken to reckons it was an accident and another says they don't think he did it. Made me see the reality that no matter who you are you could end up in a personal hell. As a kid I used to spend a lot of time playing computer games with my neighbor. One day I caught him pressing the caps lock key each time he wanted to capitalize a letter, told him the shift key did the same job, which led him to a 15-minute tirade about how the caps lock button was better. We've drifted apart since. Had an ex, he was one of those so gentle and kind you woo I love pastel colors and flower crowns you woo types, who went on to date a friend of mine. This friend goes on to tell me they broke up because he admitted to getting sexual with his dog on multiple occasions and asked if my friend wanted to watch him jack off that dog on Skype call. I was like, shit dude, I just broke up with him because he was fucking annoying. I had a seemingly innocent friend who normally kept to herself about her issues. Then one day she told us that she couldn't tell if she had a sore throat because she was sick or because she swallowed too much cum the other night. That was the only thing I associated her name with afterwards. When I got to uni at 18, I ran into a girl I was in school with when we were 11/12ths. We caught up regularly, and one day she told me, very nonchalantly, about how the previous night, she had engaged in sexual acts with a car full of guys in exchange for weed. I was a bit stunned, mainly because it's so easy to find weed in that town. Who do I have to fuck to get some bod around here? Blue minivan over there. Thank you. I have a guy friend who has always been quite popular with the ladies, despite being quite an average-looking guy. We lost touch for a few years, but within 24 hours of reconnecting again he told me that he secretly meets guys on gay dating apps, hires male/trans escorts and absolutely loves cross-dressing. Now the only time we ever really speak is when he wants my opinion on some lingerie or toys. My best friend's brother-in-law kept getting sore throats for months. His normally soft-spoken mother, fed up by this time, screamed at him in front of a full house, "What do you expect if you keep eating that dirty pussy?" Later that day I found out that both he and his GF were dirtballs. He showered about once a month and she would only wash her face, hands, and feet. They are both very attractive, educated, athletic, church-going people, and all I can think of is her pussy is so rotten it's contagious and this motherfucker catches it with his mouth. Had a friend who hung out with two friends who were girls, and he was male. All went well according to him, but the girls told me he said it's getting hot, and proceeded to take off his shirt and masturbate and finish into a cup, got all sweaty, then just left. Couldn't look this man in the eye ever again and cut off all contact. In my early days as a lawyer I represented a sweet old widower with Parkinson's disease who was being sued by a local store for groceries his late wife had purchased on credit without ever paying for. I felt awful for him. And then, shortly before trial, I found out he'd done jail time for molesting children. That roller coaster was intense. My wife's bestie confided in us that, while short of money, was moonlighting as a professional dominatrix. Until then we had thought that she was super vanilla. Had a work friend back in the day. His wife was really mean to him. She always would tell me his kids hate him, even though they would run to the door excited when their daddy was home, and when she was really mad at him she would flip out and say that he fucked his sister and fucked a pig. He would just ignore her and not say anything back. Now I just ignored it because she would always try and make him look bad when she was mad at him. Well, one night we were drinking and he was pretty drunk. His wife got mad and did it again, but this time the heated exchange went like this. "You fucked your sister and you fucked a pig once." Long pause. "You know what? Fuck you. That shit happened like 3 years ago. You need to just drop it and move on. I don't deserve to have it rubbed in my face all the time." Then I realized why she held such a resentment towards him, and I noped the fuck out of there and never talked to them again. I feel so bad for their kids. It was a really dysfunctional situation for them. Luckily I heard they aren't together anymore. Huh. That is not how I thought the story was going to end. Found out my best friend tried to rape a girl once and bragged about it to everyone but me. Also found out he held a knife to one of his ex's throats. There are many more things, but finding this out after a 10+ year friendship, I ended it abruptly. There was a story about a guy being a serial date rapist, as in, he often went out to club bars etc., drugged girls and raped them. As it turned out, one of my friends knew the rapist and also knew that he'd been doing it for at least 2 years. He also blamed a few girls for it. Made me a bit repulsed by that friend, tbh. Sibling set of cousins, my 3rd cousins. 2 sisters and a brother. The youngest sister, she is 31 this year, this happened in about 2009-ish, was dating a mixed-race guy, one parent black, the other white. I didn't realize how racist the family was. They told her to leave him immediately, and when they found out, she not only hadn't left him but was also now having sex with him. Her siblings beat her up while their father watched, and they forced her onto a plane to the EU the next day, black eye and all. Had her personal documents seized by her sister and was basically a prisoner to her. I found out about a year later about this when our other cousin told me. I can never look at anyone in that family again the same way, and it's so sad because as a kid I was very fond of them. The older sister had a coffee shop which my dad used to take us to a lot, and I think that's where he met my stepmom. I am not sure if this is a secret now since my mom knows, and I didn't tell her, though at the time my cousin asked me to keep it quiet because it was top secret and very sensitive information. I don't know if any of the family know that I know about this as well. If any of them ever read this, you guys suck. There was a woman, whom I considered my friend for many, many years. She had cancer, survived it, but it was still there and created many problems. She even appeared on TV shows as an advocate for cancer patients, did a lot of political activism, was very much opposed to euthanasia. Published some books. Then one fine day, through a series of coincidences, it turned out that her cancer had never existed. She had completely made it up. A big fat whopping lie. I would feel ashamed because I fell for it for so long, except that a lot of other people fell for it too, including professionals, doctors, nurses, priests. Needless to say, it ended that friendship. And it made me think a lot about how easily fooled we all are. Oh, by the way, she has died by now. Of cancer, I'm not kidding. Not the cancer she had made up, of course. Karma can be such a bitch. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and sub for more today on Reddit videos.